order of business tonight is approval of minutes of the previous meeting of 5/15/24.
I move the minutes be accepted as written.
Second. Any additions, corrections, or deletions? Seeing none, those in favor? Selectmen's comments. Tom?
I have some news about the broadband efforts, but we got an agenda item later that we'll talk about that. Also, we used the last few $100 of the grant, the Get Ready grant, to buy a piece of network equipment to power the new jacks that were installed last year. So that pretty much uses it all up. I think there's only like $50 left, so we may have to write them a check for $50 to give the money back when the time comes. That's it.
Tommy and I attended the pre-construction meeting for the Old Stage Road Bridge. I sent the notes or agenda or whatever to Kim. They, as Jason pointed out, they started a little bit late, but they told us, right, that they were back on the schedule, and they plan to close. So whatever the so July
11th.
July
or July
6th or something. Anyway, I sent it. I think you have it. So we should assume that the schedule that we got sent earlier is back
July
on track.
6th is the correct
July
closing date?
Monday, July 8th, they will close the road. We asked them about, they said they would reach out to the school when they got closer to the timing of school. They said that they were on their way after the meeting to go out actually on site, and I asked
Still
them.
anticipating it being closed for 90 days?
It says 54 days.
54 days.
But they think they can close it longer than that. But I think 54 is what's on the schedule. And so they're going to reach out to the school. We asked them about turnarounds. I said, maybe check with the school to find out where the last kid is. And they said they would go out and look at all of that. They also, I told them.
Next week. So.
No, but they're not closing until July.
Yeah.
Right, so this is at the other end.
But there's a chance it would last until October.
Yeah,
That's like
yeah.
the worst case scenario would be it would be closed
Yeah.
through October.
Yeah. And then they also,
54 days to do
I
it.
think they have a 90-day window, is
Yeah,
what I recall.
yeah.
They have a 90-day window to have a full
Yeah.
closure.
I
Whether
think
they do it
they said
earlier.
open by Halloween.
Yeah, open by
for sure.
Halloween.
But anyway, the schedule is in the stuff that Kim
Okay.
sent us. The other thing that they also said was, we told them about how nice it was to get that weekly report about the Bath Water District, and given our experience with road closures and whatnot, that the more information they could send us, the better. They gave us their contact information. So they seem to be, I'm not familiar with this company, but you seem to be familiar with them. And so anyway, then we have all of their contact information, which if I didn't send you, Kim, I can send you that.
I believe I got it.
Okay. The other thing I was going to say, that Tommy and I attended the RSU1 budget meeting. I did not have, I couldn't find what we ended up passing, but we ended up passing what was the last thing on the warrant. There was
It was what we
about
expected.
40 people?
Yeah.
35 people?
Right, so no additional money was added.
There was an
There was
attempt.
one proposal.
There
But
was-
it didn't pass.
It did
Didn't
not
pass.
pass. It was close, but it did not pass. All of the school board members voted against it except for one, and it might have been the person from Phippsburg, because that's where the proposal came from. The audience was kind of split on it. And then just to remind people that the meeting with the Dresden Selectboard and DOT is tomorrow at 3. I could be here at noon to do the furniture thing, but I can't be here I can't be here early. So, and then we're gonna be able to
That's
take
this coming Thursday at
tomorrow
tomorrow at
3.
3 o'clock.
In this room.
Maine DOT in Dresden to talk about the network.
Yeah, I told somebody that I know in Dresden that it's a public meeting, but we were not interested in public comment, right? I don't think of this as let's pile on DOT kind of thing, that we know well what's going on, Dresden knows well what's going on, so that's the way I see it,
The
right?
meeting,
It's not,
that's right, the meeting's in response to the letter that was sent
Yeah.
from the two select boards, and so whether the road commissioner, select boards,
Right.
it's a meeting,
Right.
right, it's open to the public, but,
Yeah.
right, I don't think it's not a public hearing.
right,
Or-
right.
So how many people we anticipate? Will we just hold it right there?
I think.
Yeah, oh, I
it's
think
right
so,
this
yeah,
year.
yeah.
And theoretically, it would be 10, 12, 14,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
DOT.
I think DOT was gonna bring about 3 or 4.
Yeah. Are you planning on coming? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Anything else, Alice?
that's it?
Good for listening. I've gotten a couple phone calls from people on the New Quasit Road that said the lay down yard is now being used again after they said they weren't going to.
They've got all the piping there, I
Yeah,
wondered about that.
I noticed it on the way by too.
Is that the stuff they need to finish?
Yeah,
They weren't gonna be on the New Quasit Road anymore, that's what he told us the last time we had that meeting. Just another lie, that's all.
No, but I mean, is that pipe that's needed to finish Nequasit Road, that's,
Right,
It
but
looks
they're working
like way more than that.
closer to the other
oh,
yard
that's
than
right,
they have
yeah,
one
that's
on-
right,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, I see a tractor trailer there, over there.
There was a problem getting, I talked to the people down at the head office. There was a problem getting pipe, and I was asked if they hauled it out of there with a small truck because of the convenience. And I didn't really see whether this was gonna be a deal breaker compared to what was already going on, so I told them to go ahead. But I said there would be no material, no gravel, no other activity there. Just to put it on the small one, the small flatbed, and take the pipe out of there.
Why is it more convenient to haul it?
Well, I don't know, I really don't know. He said, we're having trouble getting the pipe, and he said it would really be help us if we could use that. He said, I promise you, I will not come out of there with 10-wheelers or anything of the kind. And I said, we're not gonna allow any gravel material whatsoever. But apparently, if he didn't get this pipe, I don't really know, Dale, I honestly don't know. But I did tell him, I didn't see any reason that single axle flatbed truck could haul, two pieces of pipe down there,
Okay.
whatever it takes. So yes, but I've been over there monitoring all this too quite often, and I don't see a heck of a lot of activity in regard to this,
Okay.
okay? I wanna get them done, get them out of here.
Well, they must be almost connected now, aren't they?
I don't know, I did not win
They
those.
were.
Seems
this-
like,
in
the
this-
latest report was what?
This week's report is that they have 200 feet remaining on the Quasit
200
Road
feet, yeah.
of pipe.
I think they were all in on the West Road.
Well, this was as a Friday afternoon.
This was, this week's.
Yeah, 'cause I was down there today, and that down to the
So-
machines are.
Maybe they did 200 feet in 3 days. No.
But I don't know, it's too bad, this whole thing has kind of gotten out of hand, it's caused some bad feelings. I have been in more arguments with this situation than I have in the whole time of my road commissionership, okay?
Wow.
And it's kind of sad, because there's no need for something, you know?
yeah.
So that pipe jack is gonna be used on 127?
I believe the pipe now is going to be used on 27, yes. Now, I can't answer your question why they don't use the other yard. All I know is, he said it would be handy to use a small truck and haul out that yard. And,
Still
kind
makes
of,
sense.
it was a hard position to be put in. And
Yeah.
I weighed the cost of it, versus the value to get them down and get them out of here, so.
Okay, I can pass that on, at least now I know.
Well, thanks for your efforts on that.
Well.
I think it's everybody's best interest to see this job
Yeah.
done this
You
summer.
know, and the man that called me is not one I've been dealing with on the job site up here.
Yeah,
He's been very, very good, very polite with us.
yeah.
He's always returned my phone calls, and,
So did he reach out to
so
you
I
to
guess what I'm
ask?
getting at is,
Yeah.
as my father would say, I didn't see any reason to throw a rock in the tire,
Right.
so.
So he reached out to you to ask if that was
Yeah.
okay? Well, that's good.
Yeah, no, and,
Yeah.
so I didn't see, I mean, other than us wanting to stop them, which I don't like power plays, what would be the point of stopping them, you know? They didn't head to school.
Well, and frankly, the question to you would be more about the impact on the road. And obviously,
Yeah.
in the summertime, there's no impact that way. I mean, after everything they've been through, right?
In fact, this afternoon, the truck was down there, it's, I don't know, it's a flatbed, single axle, and they had a couple pieces of pipe on it.
I guess the
May-
question
maybe
is
it's-
where would the offloader tractor trailer that size, other than that place?
I don't know if they get a tractor trailer in the other yard.
It was a huge tractor trailer.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the way it is, so if there's any explanation, yes, I told him I didn't see that being a problem.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else, Dave?
Nope.
Jason?
A few things. All right. First of all, as we all know, everybody on the board does a lot of different things, but I think last week Tommy really did a lot in handling the roof project. I mean, I got a phone call on Tuesday after the holiday, and there was a lot going on, and he came down and he dealt with the contractor and came down, and then when you talked to me about nails, like, Tommy, go down, get the contractor to magnetize everything, do everything, check it. So you did go above and beyond, Tommy, and I think it really helped the board here. But another thing, I talked to Jimmy Wharf. He said to convey publicly that it looks like we'll be on the new road this second week of August. It changes slightly here and there, but dealing with paving and membranes, and he said I could publicly say that they're shooting for the second week of August to be on. It won't be all done, but they have to have guardrail installed and at least base paving and this sort of stuff. We picked a date. When I say we, town has picked a
Tammy
date.
and Jason.
Well, and Allison, you were on it.
Yeah.
So traditionally, Woolwich Community Day is the second Saturday in August, and this year it's August 10th. And I know many of us in this room are part of all that, so we needed to pick a date. And if you remember last year, I think we picked it at a select board meeting. So things are being ordered and reserved, and that's the date this year. So hopefully that'll work out. And one other thing, now that the roof is done, if you guys recall, we were going to do some siding repairs and some things. And Sean and I and Dale Reno met last night. He has submitted his price. He is donating quite a bit of work. We talked about a couple of things at the North Station. The door that has given trouble, he thinks that without replacing the door, there's a bunch of adjustments and improvements, and am I right, Sean?
Yeah.
Things he can do. We walked all the way around the building. Dale did point out things that I had not seen. I'm not sure any of us had seen. He went out back and grabbed the framework on one of the windows and showed how it just pops out. So there's quite a few days worth of work. His price is $12,500. But I do know that he's donating a bunch of things like this finishing of the trim at the North Station. There's a door up there that needed to be cleaned up. There's I personally would encourage the board to go with it. Dale has done a lot for the town, and I don't know who else we get to do all these. There's a lot of pieces to this. Kim, what I don't recall is, have you paid the roof bill yet?
No, that will come out tomorrow.
I think we had enough with the 80-something minus that, if we choose to go ahead with whatever. I think that, remember we put the warrant article in for,
85, wasn't it?
yeah.
85 or 83, something.
It was, and it included the accessory siding repairs and things. But we did a complete walk around the building, and this would, even out by the corner doors here, there's vinyl siding damage. Anyway, so what do you guys think? I'm just passing it on, but.
So that comes out of Sean's budget, right?
Anyway, and then you're gonna talk about the speed sign? Okay, so that's all I have.
I have nothing. Okay, town, public report, public comments. Anything? Okay. Town administrator's report.
Can I bring up one thing while we get Debbie?
Yeah.
Real quick. Is there any consideration, you and I talked about this, but there were some comments that I've heard, and I'm probably one of them, is about maybe changing the time of the annual Memorial Day service to,
If you want me, if the group wants it to be moved to like an hour earlier, so 6 o'clock or something, I'm willing to talk to the other
I heard-
officers involved and
yeah.
find out if they're okay.
Aw, come on, really, an
Well,
hour?
well, no, I didn't say an hour, I haven't picked an hour.
All right.
What we're saying,
What would you like? What would your?
Seven, it works, I mean,
Well, okay, so what it was said specifically was some of the towns, and you know, they do them in the mornings, they do them in the afternoons, and somebody asked me, why is it 7 o'clock at night? I personally don't know as I know why it's 7 o'clock at night on that. And I, for one, don't usually attend because it would end at 8:30 or 8, and so it's a question that I thought before we get into another year that is.
I would go for 5 or 6. That way, if people wanted to attend a parade in the, they could still do
Yeah.
the, right?
Yeah.
Jack, what? Oh, okay.
Oh, 2 o'clock?
Oh,
All right,
2
well,
works for me.
No, watery. It's just something I told you I was gonna bring up because and it's not, Debbie, I think it's been many decades since been this way, right? It's been 7 o'clock for
I
me.
inherited it, so.
Yeah, and I just wonder if it would help with attendance. And Phil, I think you and I had this conversation.
I don't remember.
No, what we talked about.
Phil
No,
and
no.
his wife
No,
are
no, no.
about 50% of the attendance.
No, but I mean, it might, I mean,
I can tell you, Wiscasset, I went to theirs and it was, I believe it was 9:30, and they didn't really have that many more.
no.
Yeah.
It's just something.
The weather was really bad that day.
It was,
Yeah.
it was pretty
It's
crazy,
just-
yeah.
People go.
It's just something to,
Yeah.
conversation.
Just see if they, see if they go for it. Not too.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay. I just have a couple of thank yous. I want to thank Tommy for going over to the memorial and fixing it up and sprucing it up to where we thought it was presentable.
It looked great.
I thought it did too,
Yeah.
yes. So I came running over in a panic and Tommy went over there and fixed it up, and I appreciate that. I want to thank Jason and Nick for continuously taking care of the garbage at the park. That's always a big help. And I want to thank David for fixing the ramp the other night so quickly and under budget.
He charged for the nails, I hope.
Yeah, we need to get something taken care of over there because it's always popping up, so it'd be nice to get it taken care of.
On that note, I think we ought to have somebody look at that. I think it's time to mention that to Dale when he's down here.
Yeah.
That was made out of pressure treated wood, and it's getting really old, and it's
Mhm.
flopping, and it's pulling up. And that's the second one of those ramps we've had there. This one was a great improvement over the first one,
This
but I
is
think
the
it's time to
second
look
one?
into a new one. And that new, I forget the name of the wood,
Yeah.
it's not actually wood, but
Right.
it's used on the
Yeah.
Yeah.
AZAC.
Pepsi bottles.
Yeah,
Or
it's
AZAC.
it's a manufactured product, but I think something like that would last a lot longer, and we, while he's here working, we might get him to include that in it too,
Yeah.
because that thing is falling
Yeah.
apart. What it is the boards underneath are getting weak, and they can't hold the nails anymore. So I've been putting 3-inch screws in it, and even then, it took me 3 screws to get one board down the other night. It's getting in pretty tough shape. I meant to mention that.
Okay. Last day to submit any invoices will be the 14th of this month, which is, a week and a half away. And that includes, please don't do any credit card purchases, just because it's the end of the fiscal year and I have to account for all the money. I have a call into Seacoast because the outside camera that overlooks the fire department parking lot, when they were working on the roof, somehow it got disabled, so I have no access to it. I have not heard back from Seacoast yet, when they're gonna come and I don't even know what's wrong with it. The end of the month is on a Sunday. So on Friday will be our last day. We will continue to stay open until 1 o'clock. And then I'll just stay after and end up closing out the year, which will probably be till like 3 or 4. Shouldn't take that long. But on another note, the 4th of July is on a Thursday this year. And I would like to request that we are closed on Friday the 5th. Because who wants to come in and work a 5-hour day
Even if there were fireworks.
and off and
Okay.
no.
So moved. I move that I think you'll find that most places are closing on the 5th, but I would move that we close the.
I'll second it.
Yeah.
All those in
Especially since
favor?
we'd be open Wednesday till 6, so.
Correct, yes. Yeah. All right, perfect. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Quick question for you. What time do you want us on Monday?
Monday, let's do 2:45, 3 o'clock.
Okay, here first?
Yep,
Okay. This is to set up for voting, right?
yes.
That's at the school, right?
Hopefully, we'll make it. Rob's having surgery on Monday, so I don't know whether
Okay.
I might still be in Portland.
Road Commissioners report. Mr. Shaw.
Yeah, do you have anything, Kim?
I do not.
As you know, you probably heard a new speed sign got demolished. It was up to Dr. Lex, near Dr. Lex on the Mountain Road. And someone decided to put it to its death with baseball bats. That's what the sheriff's deputy thought it was. But it got beat all to pieces and stole off, and it's not repairable. So that one's out of the picture. I have a date for our paving. We're in the week of the 23rd of this month.
Oh, this month, okay.
To start, right?
Yeah, and it's gonna be, which roads are,
Be my driveway, your driveway. No, be Montford Road, part of Montford.
oh,
Okay, here's what I've come up with so far. Walker Road, from the Mountain Road to Old Stage. The New Quonset Road from Route 1 to the bridge,
okay,
which fulfills our agreement or our
right,
whatever with the other people. 6,000 feet approximately on your road, beginning at Route 1 and going,
okay.
Once we're good, yeah.
and all of Phipps Point.
Ah, okay,
Now that's the best of my figuring with working
Yeah.
with these people.
okay.
And I believe that's what we can do, and that's gonna take us an awful lot of conniving to figure out,
Yeah.
how we can get out of it. We need more money for
Yeah.
paving. No
So,
question.
so you would do 6,000 feet of Montswig and then skip the rest of Montswig and then do all?
just complete that piece and
Okay,
hopefully pick that piece up when we do, I don't know what's gonna happen next year, but my plan would be Hockomock area next
Okay.
year perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps, right?
yeah,
And maybe then we can pick this piece up, maybe not.
okay,
So, we try to arrange it so there's less moving, it's $2,000 to move,
yeah,
the mobilization. So we try to tie it together where they can travel the paver and the rollers and so on, so. That's the best we can do at the time being.
Okay.
Out of all that, obviously Phipps Point will be one lane, one pass.
One pass, yeah.
So we'll,
We'll just keep people out.
no, right, but when you get close, when you get, you don't know what road they'll do first or.
I don't know.
All right. But that's the only road that they'll have one,
Yeah.
see what we're saying?
And that would never be, like that
Yeah,
would
no, we
be,
get it.
never be a deal breaker because he said, we can get out of the road in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
If you were to drive on a piece of new hot top road, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we kind of have to gamble.
yeah.
Do the best we can.
So June, their lobster bake is the beginning of August, so that should be,
Who's that?
Phipps Point, the
Oh,
other,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
Hopefully.
Well, it's hard to get, you know,
Yeah.
so if I don't, if we don't get them in the agenda now, we
Yeah.
lose them to wait in the fall.
Yeah, yeah,
And I do not like
Yeah.
fall paving.
yeah, yeah. No, this is great. I'm just gonna have to explain to the rest of the people on my road why my section is getting paved.
Don't say anything to anybody. I don't want any bullets. I mean, you lobbied for this, and I got proof of it.
We're being televised right now.
I know.
I mean, I know.
That was gonna be my question, if you, 6,000 feet took you past Representative Hepler's driveway.
Oh, of course it does, yeah.
It will take you down through, you probably don't know where.
Gonna get wider,
Big shoulders.
We measured it again today.
Yeah.
And 6,000 feet takes us down.
Down past,
That's a pretty good job. It takes
that,
us
yeah,
down
it's 2
Right.
miles to the stop sign, and so,
Montford Woods there.
yeah, yep, yep,
So that's all that's in the schedule right now.
okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
And I've graded all the roads. I did down around the loop the other day, the neck and all that. I graded all of
When
that.
they're doing the Walker Road, right at the, halfway up the first hill on Birchwood Road, my road,
Yeah.
we've lost about a 5-foot diameter piece of road. It's just disintegrated.
Yeah.
And so if they're on the Walker Road, if they could just take a couple of wheelbarrows full up there and fix that hole, that would be great.
We shall try. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Codes officers report. From Mike. I have officially taken over the duties of the Code Enforcement Officer for the town effective June 1st. For the past month, I've worked closely with Chris to learn all the aspects of the position. I do want to thank Chris for the training he's provided along with the patience as I learned. I passed all the required certification tests for codes enforcement, a local plumbing inspector. I'm awaiting official documentation from the state. For the month of May, we issued 3 internal plumbing and 1 subsurface wastewater system application, issued 5 building permits and 2 residential solar permits. If you have any questions, let me know.
Oh, so I have a question.
We're on this, we have to appoint with Mike is the codes officer, and Chris is the backup codes officer.
Very back, that's behind.
Keep going, okay?
Yep, it's right there.
So I would, I would move that we appoint Mike Field as the CEO, LPI,
Yep.
Second.
and also appoint Chris as the alternate. of that.
So I assume he has to resign from the planning board?
I
He's-
received his resignation
We
yesterday.
talked about it, and I guess he doesn't have to, but he really feels he needs to because.
He submitted a written one to the.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he said
okay.
he was going to.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, is there a second?
Yeah, Dale, I think.
Dale seconded it, those in favor?
Jack, you had a question.
I was just gonna add, I forgot, I met with him this morning with the coast, new coast guy, and we went down to Munford Road and looked at a driveway where they had installed a culvert that is dumping water onto a private property.
Yeah.
So, where it goes from here, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's very clear what's
It's
happening
right.
to that yard.
Yeah.
Okay, EMS director's report, Annie.
So we responded to 26 calls in May, 26 patients, 19 transported. The month started out slow and then got busy. Called it for MC1 5 times and Wiscasset once. We gave mutual aid to Wiscasset twice to Dresden. We've had 5 calls and 5 transported so far this month. So, in June, training, we'll be joining the fireside for extrication training. It'll be one night classroom and then a morning of hands-on practical, getting patients out of cars alongside fire so we work well together. Craig Collins completed his EMT training. He was on Chops Cross Road and started training as a third with us, so just third on a shift till he gets used to it. And then he and his daughter, Emma, is also a third for us.
She's in med, she's the one in med school, right? Or heading
Yes,
to the
or
med
pre-med,
school?
yes, but she's an EMT and she was actually just here, we had a call today, and they're both doing really well, and hopefully we'll just be second soon, so on a shift with another provider once they, so that's going really well. Our former medical director, Brandon Giberson, he, who was head of emergency medicine at Midcoast, he actually moved to a different hospital in southern Maine. So we have a new medical director, Dr. Michael Schmitz. He's out of Midcoast Hospital. He's the EMS liaison. He's worked in emergency medicine for 20 years. Before that, he was a paramedic. So he actually knows what we do and how to work with us, and he's been very responsive. At our last EMS directors meeting with Midcoast, he highlighted one of our providers who did a really good job on the call and went over the case. So that was very exciting for a provider. And so he's very in touch. Still waiting for the formal contract from him, but he's stepped into that role, and it will be the $1,000 stipend or contract that we had with Dr. Iverson. So Jason Downing stepped down as EMS assistant director. So we are in a searching for a new director and a training officer. We also want to make roles to lighten the load on people that are non-stipend, that are people stepping up to do things that they really enjoy doing, whether in equipment and give them more experience and responsibility. So, equipment. We acquired new first-in jump bags recently, which are, most importantly, they're waterproof. We're going to stop losing gear when we're out in the rain. They're also backpacks because we have to keep running into the woods, and we're carrying those big old bags that aren't waterproof. They get damaged. And they're quite old. So we acquired new packs and oxygen bags, which are, they're much more organized, they're much lighter, they are better, they're gonna last a lot longer. We were having, as I said, on the roadway in the rain, we were having, gear damage because the water was getting in, which isn't a good thing. Also, these are much easier to wash, so less spread of bloodborne pathogens and things like that. So it's just much better all around, and it's something our old bags were just causing a lot of problems. And especially, we did go search in the woods for some patients, and it was painful carrying that thing for a while. Like we were swapping off. And so we have separate jump. This is our first in bag, easily marked. Like all the important stuff is easily gotten to, and you can see it. Then we have oxygen bags, which will actually hang off the backs of our stretchers now, so the patient doesn't have to hold their oxygen tank in the lap. which is what we had to do. And they have inner boards that can come out and hang on the stretcher as well. So it will be a lot more efficient and a lot better for the equipment too. So we'll lose less equipment. I just like so.
I love the show and tell.
I do too. It's fun. If you want to see inside them, I'll be happy to show you. They're very organized.
Allison does after the meeting.
Okay. Grants. Our Maine EMS Sustainability Grant application finally came through. Yay! It's $15,000. We're waiting for them to deposit the money in the town account. So as soon as we have that. Fine. And again, this is a no matching grant, and it has to be used for specific things. QA, QI, training, very specific things. So sadly, I can't buy radios or protective equipment with it. But it is, and if anybody wants to read the word, it basically this just says, hey, you get the money, now you have to report. We have to spend it by December 31st
Of this year.
Yeah, of this year.
And when you applied, did you have to say what you wanted to use it for?
Yes, and there was a very long grant application, and it was very specific about what we could and asking where we would spend it.
Okay.
So,
And just a reminder, the auditors every year do review our grant applications and our requirements, and they're always reminding the board that we make sure, we know you are, but
Yeah.
use it according to the grants.
yes,
Right.
that's, and talking about money, requests, and this invoice would come before the 14th. I'm requesting to spend $1,031 from our training line item. We have, I think, like $3,500 left, $3,200, for an online training package, GEMS Academy. It's online CE, continuing education hours for our providers. We used to have an online thing. The quality was not good and the prices went way up, so Ben Barker did a really good job of researching the different options to find one that would actually give good quality and not cost us a lot. This one, the GEMS Academy, would be $1,031 for 1 year, 11 training slots. They charge per training slot. So we thought it was better to test them for a year, offer the slots to people who do 4 or more shifts a month. So it's people who are dedicated to the service using them. It's for online training. This package also includes a lot of administrative functions, so we can choose what training they take. It also includes inventory functions, things like that. So it offers a lot. And again, we test it for a year. If it doesn't work, we find something else. But this is we can only provide so many trainings, and a lot of our providers can't get to, other towns all the time to do the required recurring training. And the online is a way that really helps bolster a lot of people's things. They can do specialty things that we'll never find a trainer for as well.
And they can access this from their own computer at home?
Yes, so those people will get an account, they can log in from anywhere. So it's very.
So we need a motion?
Yep.
Yeah, I would move that we allow Danny to spend the,
$1,031.
that's it,
That's
as he's outlined.
Second?
Those in favor? Okay.
One more thing. Again, thanks. Ben did a lot of research on this and reaching out to companies. We're in desperate need of radios and pagers, adding staff, equipment dying. We just had another pager die that I thought I could issue to someone. So I'm again requesting the use of $2,700 for one radio and two pagers. Radios are $1,700. We're trying to find cheaper ones, but the pagers are $450 to $500 each. This from the EMS donations account, so it's not from our budget. It's from what people have donated.
And you have it.
Kim and I looked. There's like 3,200 or 30. Was it
39.
3,900?
39.
So we looked. I made sure that we had it before, and it's just we need radios and pagers, and sadly, it's not something I can use a sustainability grant for. So
I would move that we allow Danny to buy those with that funds from that account.
Second.
Those in favor?
thank you. Lastly, I would want to thank the select board for the gifts they gave, the gift cards for our EMS providers. They really did appreciate it. It was a nice surprise, and they really And it's a nice gesture, thank you, because, you know, we sometimes live in a vacuum on the ambulance, and it's nice to know we're appreciated by the town, or it's them. We also gave gift cards from the department. We also had a staff appreciation barbecue here at the station on the Friday night of EMS week. We had a lot of providers show up and their family members, and so it was a nice time to just hang out and, you know, just spend time together, not in the back of an ambulance. Also, I want to thank Tommy for helping arrange this with Jason, the Woolwich Historical Society, for letting us park the ambulances over there and plug them in during the roof replacement. We had calls during that, and that was like invaluable to be able to have those charged up and ready to go. So thank you to the Historical Society and everyone involved. Last thing I forgot to put in the report is we got a notice from Safety Works that the EMS department passed, and it's clear that case is closed for EMS. Working with Sean to help close out the fire one. But the EMS, we did get their letter this week, so that was exciting.
Great. All right. Thank you. John?
6 calls since the last meeting. A couple mutual aid calls. One was Cassett, one to Bodenham for a structure fire. Running into the issues coming back to the compressor being out of service, filling air. We're at the mercy of where we go to get air, and we're at the mercy of their time. So that's becoming more and more of an issue for us. EMA has been unsuccessful at getting any kind of a grant that would cover that right now. The best shot we're going to have at it is going to be the AFG grant, which opens up next year. So we'll see. I'm still waiting for one more quote for a compressor, but anywhere from 50 to 70,000 for the whole setup. Safety Works, I've got the extension that we requested for the rest of the stuff for us, as well as the building. Danny's helping us with the building safety plan that we required to have for the building. So once we get that done, we'll get everything submitted for that. Like you mentioned about the extrication training coming up. Yeah, that's all I have, I believe. Jason, I met with Dale. That was all.
Thank you the department for getting the flags up.
Yeah. I got the flags up.
So,
We'll need a couple more metal, the plastic mounts they didn't put out because they just don't hold that. But we're gonna, I guess, some more metal ones at some point. But otherwise, yeah, that's all I got.
How you doing your payroll? You getting that?
Yeah, Tommy and I were just chatting today about it. I'm still working on it, so everything's in this sheet now. Now I have to go in and figure out the dates and get those all, as far as the calls, get them all itemized, and I'll put them in chunks for that. And then we'll chat about the rest of the funds and see where it's at.
And you know about the deadline, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was waiting to the last day of May was the last of the calls, so that's all up in there now. So.
Okay. Thank you. Can we have anything under old business?
I do not.
Okay, I do. I want to talk about the bulkhead repair at Dave's Ferry. Town owns the bulkhead at the end of Dave's Ferry that holds the dock in place. The dock belongs to the town as well. It gets severely damaged in one of the December storms, and the folks up there would like to apply for a harbor something or other grant. I forget the name of the grant, but anyways, there is a state grant that they can apply for to get money to. They need the town's support for that. So I would like to have us go on record as that we will support that. And Bruce Montgomery, I played your tape earlier, phone call I got from Bruce Montgomery, and I'll check with him and see if he can come to our next meeting, and we'll talk about it. And we may have to have a little staff time help him fill out the grant application, something like that. But I think the town, it's worthwhile if we can get some grant money to fix that thing up. I mean, it is an asset of the town. It's a shame that there's no parking there, but you know, the people in that neighborhood at least could use it because they can all walk to it. But you know, it is a town asset, and I hate to see the town lose it.
Is there a match involved? A town match?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
We'll have to
Okay.
find out. If there is, we have the
We
money.
have it, yeah.
We have money to match it, that we set aside every year at town meeting. So by consensus, so do you want to make a motion?
Oh, I think it would be irresponsible of us not to support something. I mean, my understanding is that the bulkhead was primarily built by Bud Reed on a donation, but it's obviously the end of our town way.
Right.
Serves a purpose, and I think,
You guys did this last thing, you approved it and everything.
yeah.
You motioned to,
We already did it?
yeah, last
That's right.
meeting.
That's right. Well, I know it was in the minutes because I just read them.
Right.
There was a motion to support the grant application, which was so moved by Thomas and seconded by
I
us.
think the tricky part though is there's not a specific grant application yet.
Right.
And
So what we've got to do is we've got to have a meeting with,
Okay.
with Bruce and whoever else he wants to bring in. And so you want to do that before our next regular meeting? We've got to set a date and time for that meeting.
Right, we gotta talk about that.
It comes, the third Wednesday of the month is a holiday, so we'll be closed that day.
And I
So-
think we're at the old townhouse, right?
Yes.
Yes, we're gonna be at the old townhouse, but we can still meet there earlier than we
Or we
meet
could
at
be-
Or
five.
he could just meet, he could just come to the
think
meeting
it might-
too.
It might be better to just do
Or
it
just
here.
have them come to the
Different-
meeting. And
Yeah.
The meetings in the old townhouse sadly aren't well attended, so maybe this will bring more people to the old townhouse. So, all right,
But then
so
we gotta drive over.
let's move on and discuss when we want to do it. I'd like to see us use Monday of that week,
Monday works for me.
17th, right?
Yep.
Monday the 17th.
So we're on the new
We
business
meet at
week?
5 o'clock at the old townhouse.
5 o'clock on a Monday, on the 20th.
17th,
Oh, that's right.
right?
What was I thinking?
So, I think.
Yeah,
I know it's a little early.
Yes.
Yep,
At what time?
5 p.m.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock,
So,
okay.
so does that work, same time, but just different day?
Okay.
Danny, if you can't make
It's a
it,
Monday.
just submit a written report.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
No, it's a different day.
I
It's
got
a-
you.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Monday?
It's a Monday.
Right.
Yes.
So it's not.
Wednesday's a holiday.
Who gets holidays?
The state.
Oh, Kim,
Well, it's a federal
it's 2 days for a
holiday.
holiday.
It's a
Is it also
federal
federal?
holiday.
Is it also federal?
Still work.
It's federal.
State, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Monday, 5 o'clock,
17th.
17th.
Yep.
Okay, all right, Consolidated Communications Grant Support Letter.
Okay, so the update about the Consolidated's effort to get broadband in Woolwich. So as you know, they did not win the grant that we had pledged the matching funds for, and that was construction was supposed to happen, I guess, starting within the next few months. So they didn't win that grant. We didn't win that grant. So they're trying a new grant, or they're trying it's the same grant money, but a new cycle, a new round of grants that they're proposing a much larger project that includes Woolwich and all of Lincoln County, essentially. So I was asked, is our pledge for the matching funds or whatever still available? And I said, and I checked with Kristen, and the answer is no. So if we're going to do any in the future, if we're going to be involved financially with that, which it's not clear whether that's going to be necessary or not, but nonetheless, they've asked us to give them a support letter saying, yes, we would like them to put broadband in our town. And the memorandum of understanding that we have with them is no longer in effect. So if we were to financially get involved in this, we need another town meeting and a whole start from scratch kind of thing. So they haven't asked about exactly they haven't proposed anything yet. So we'll see, I guess. But right now, all they want to do is apply for this grant from the Maine Connectivity Authority for themselves to get grant money to do this large project, and they wanted our support, a letter of support. So here is a letter of support for us to sign, and I guess we need a motion and a vote to sign it.
I have no problem with signing the letter and everything, but I gotta say, I think Consolidated, a couple 1 foot in the grade, the other foot's on a banana peel. I still have a landline, my landline has gone up in price every month for the last 5 months.
Yep.
It would seem to me that.
I don't get the same bill 2 months in a row.
Well, and I spoke with Tommy yesterday about this, and it maybe I'm way off of my thinking, but it seemed to me that if 20 companies came and wanted letters of support and no financial commitment at this time, I would say we should do it. Because we all know that folks want it, we all know that you have problems up in your end, and so whatever, obviously.
Yeah, I've got no problem
Yeah.
signing the letter of support.
Yeah.
Well, I just question whether or not this is the outfit that we're gonna hitch our horses to their wagon, you know, I mean,
There's a lot of complaining about Comcast too now. I don't know.
Yeah, and in all the outreach we did about broadband, I think, and the vote at the town meeting, we have a clear mandate that, from the people of the town, that they really want to have better internet service, so I feel like it's.
the motion would be in order, Tom, you wanna make?
Sure,
a
I'll make the
motion?
motion that we sign this letter of support.
I'll second it.
Okay, those in favor? All right, pass it around.
Was you against or for, or tell Kim if you, tell her?
Against.
Against? Okay.
You are against it, okay.
Okay,
Can I ask why?
Because I don't
Yeah.
have decent cell phone service yet.
But wouldn't.
But Dale, the thing is, you know, they can't put a cell tower in until they have fiber. That's, so that's kind of a,
We've asked for cell phone towers for years and years and years, and they told us there's no reason to put cell phone towers up, because we're gonna go to satellite cell phone, you know.
You don't have one of those yet?
Well, no. You know, we've heard all kinds of excuses, and I think it's just more excuses, that's all.
okay, moving on, auditor's engagement letter. We have to sign this each year, I believe.
There's 2
It only
copies.
requires my signature, but let me check that.
There's 2 copies. One for them. 2 copies. Yeah,
2 copies.
yep.
But I'm trying to
2 signatures.
find a page that says sign here. It's only my signature, so,
I would move that we authorize David, the chair, to sign the auditor's engagement letter.
Is that just hiring them? Is that what that?
Yeah, every year after town meeting, we approve the money, this.
okay.
Second.
So is any discussion? We need to vote. Those in favor?
what's the price compared to last year?
It's in your budget, what else?
11.
So like $1,100 more?
Yeah,
It
something.
seemed like it went to 10,000 or
It
11,000.
was
something.
10.8, I think,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
11.8 or 11.9, something like that.
Yeah,
Favor, till I find the second signature page.
the fine print, the whole Allison account.
What?
Sorry, I should have had it ready for you.
I feel like the print got, not you, but the print got smaller.
You don't have your readers on.
No,
Trying to save paper.
I remember when I do this. Oh, shoot.
There, sign the book.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, Coastal Maine Society contract. Motion to sign the contract for Coastal Maine Society.
It's for a year's worth of,
Yeah, it's our annual, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, shoot. So moved.
so moved.
All right,
Second.
Put Tommy, whatever. He moved it, I seconded it.
Okay. All right.
It only takes one,
Signature.
we do need a witness, you could witness the signature,
All right,
okay?
all right.
Those in favor of me signing this, okay? Looks like it's dated 6/5. Kim, do you have anything else?
You're not.
Does anybody else have anything else?
Thank you.
If not, I entertain a motion to adjourn.